Hey guys, it's Manga Reads, and today it's a very quick video. And what I'll be discussing today is a bit of the character Vinsmoke Judge, or Judge. You know, Sanji's father, that asshole who can't fight. Yeah. So, why is Judge important? He is not, but there's something that's really been laying on my mind ever since the most recent chapters. And the most recent chapters of One Piece has been 865, 66, 67, etc. We haven't gone to 870 as yet. We actually stopped at 869. This is where this video is at. And what we've seen of Judge since his introduction is that he was a very bad parent to Sanji, and Sanji hates him. We've never seen Sanji hate anyone per se before. Even Ging and Don Creek, Sanji never seemed to hate them, but we've seen Sanji seem to hate Judge and want to kick his ass if it were not for the dire situation that he's in with Big Mom and wanting to save the Straw Hats. Now, Judge is a very terrible person, but his character seems really good. And what I mean by his character, I'm thinking the way his character is set up for the person he is and where he can go, where he has been. I think his character has a lot of potential. Now, the way that all the normal structure stuff is that we have a character that we have a reason to hate, and then going forward, we might learn a thing or two that changes our perspective on that. That's how this might be with Judge. However, my reason for making this video is not that. I'd like to look at Judge from a character perspective. I want to find out the reason why he has done the things that he has done. He didn't care, he could care less that his wife died and that Sanji's and Reiju's and everybody else's mother. He genetically engineered his children with chemicals so they can become stronger, and that ultimately led to the demise of his wife, even though his wife never wanted him to. He would have left his son to die because he couldn't kill him, but he did hate him and he did treat him very poorly, from a father to a son. So there are things that Judge has done that we can't by any means comprehend and agree to, and we can never put a label on and say it was right, which if given any explanation whatsoever, there's perhaps nothing Judge can do that can enlighten us to say that Judge was right for doing this. But what this video is about is that we want to see why Judge took such drastic measures. And I think I have an answer. The very reason why I think that I might have an answer for this is from one of the chapters that we've seen recently, and it's somewhere about chapter 865. In that chapter, we started the Big Mom assassination plot, and the Vinsmokes were caught. Judge was caught, and they were about to be assassinated, and Judge cried in that chapter. It might have been 864, but it doesn't matter. You can go and read it, and it will be in the anime pretty soon. Now, what happened in the scene was that Judge cried out to Big Mom and said there was supposed to be an honor among thieves. And he went on to say that he thought he could trust her. And then while Big Mom never replied, he continued to blabber and cry. And he said that he poured every last iota of his being into redeeming the Germa, and that he wanted to retrieve the North Blue. He wanted to become king of North Blue again. Now, I'm believing that given that he lost the North Blue after he dethroned 4 kings, he might have a bit of a grudge for that. But there is something else that's really been dawning on me. Given is not much of his experience and not much of his desire, but it's more of the focus he's put into training his children to become very top soldiers. Because remember, all of the German kids, except for Sanji who left, has an entire army under them. They have an entire army at their command, and they go out on missions to stop wars and whatever, though they do it only for the money. Now, before they were born, they were being engineered to become very powerful soldiers. And given that Judge recently acclaimed that he poured every last iota of his being into becoming a person capable of retrieving the North Blue, I'm thinking that his entire character is based on a medieval father. and not necessarily a medieval father as much as a king. And it doesn't have to be medieval, because remember, in times past, war was very prominent, and the victor of war, even now, as you might have learned from World War II and the results, is that the victor of war flourishes and the loser perishes. So there is a lot to be won and lost from war. And in the One Piece verse, and even in the New World, even on the Great Sea of the Grand Line, it's no different, given the age of the pirates and so on. So why is Judge so conflicted? Why is he so sacrificial with his entire life for the sake of war? I think he doesn't see any other way to retrieving the North Blue. And I think that the North Blue, given the status of the Vinsmoke, is very important. Because remember guys, Brook knows about the Vinsmoke, and Brook is over 50 years old. So it's quite possible that before Judge seized control of the North Blue, it's quite possible that his family had ruled the North Blue, right? And he might have even seen the North Blue being taken away from his dad before he recaptured it. And given that he worked with Vegapunk on experiments deemed inhumane by the world government, his experiments might have been to engineer humans that he succeeded in. Now, it's quite fascinating that Judge would have gone through all this lengths to retrieve the North Blue. And it seems he have much more on his agenda than just retrieving. It seems a bit more for revenge, because he does mention how much he wants to crush the leaders of the North Blue. So it does hold a grudge for what happened. So this is what I think Judge has done. And I might be right, I might be wrong, but I'd like to think I'm right. Judge has sacrificed his life in order to retrieve the North Blue, and is willing to die in a fight given that his children can survive. And this is perhaps the reason why he's engineered his children to the way they are. He deems Sanji a failure. And remember guys, as a king, it's your duty to nurture the next king, who is your son. And it's your duty to protect your nation, to protect your kingdom. And it is also your duty to ensure that your son, your daughter, whoever it is, your family that will lead the nation in the future, is powerful enough to sustain. And it's not necessarily that you should want your nation to thrive. There's a bit of an honor to go into it. And I've seen Judge speak about this honor among thieves, and it kind of got me thinking about what he might have had under those words, what he might have thought. Because he straight up trusted a Yonko, and a Yonko is like the highest class of pirates, and pirates are known throughout the world for deceit and backstabbing. So it might even be stupid to believe a Yonko, to believe a pirate, to trust a pirate, but that just shows his desire to retrieve the North Blue. So I think the North Blue is the very reason why he's done everything that he's done. It's the very reason why he engineered an army, why he engineered his kids, why he threw them into the slavery of war training. Because remember, while they were just kids, they could not have been 5 years old. They were training day and night. And that's when they realized that Sanji was not gifted, he was not special. So Judge is doing all he's doing, all for the sake of the North Blue. And this is important for me because I think it will help his character going forward. Remember guys, the Pirate King is the man with the most freedom on the sea. Where will Judge go after this? He was saved by his reject, he was saved by the dud, his failure of a son. Will he come to realize his mistakes? Probably not. He seems to be a very proud man. Will he ask Sanji for forgiveness? Probably not. He seems to rather die than do that. But will he, for some reason, explain why he's done everything that he's done? Maybe, but who cares? It's been Manga Reads, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you soon.